Kumar sir, so how is the situation in Delhi?
Everything seems normal because we are all under lockdown. But outside on the roads, people are uh, hungry. They are not getting proper nutrition. They are not getting proper food. And the biggest affected ones are those who had uh, their the daily wages, the rickshaw pullers or small business owners like panwala, tea shop owners, those who were running small businesses. So these are the worst affected people. All of a sudden, their entire livelihood is gone. They were totally dependent on movement of people, mass movement of people. And they were sitting outside the metro stations, the bus stops, selling cigarette pan, or riding auto rickshaws or cycle rickshaws, the Uber drivers. These are the people, they will not come out and beg you for food, but they will keep suffering. So when this corona thing happened, our first concern was to fight the hunger. Delhi government came in picture much later, but even their facilities are not at all up to the mark. They are barely able to feed 50% of the population, as per my information.
Kumar sir, now I know that you have lots of all the industries usually come together, and I came to know from our earlier interaction that you people have also lunch together so that you
Yes,
can
yes, yes.
discuss your industrial problems and sort it out daily. So now how you people have come together in this situation, and how you people are helping.
Uh, I will talk more about our Humanitarian Aid International. That's the NGO I got associated with since last 3 years. It is not a very old NGO. It is just 5, 6 years old. And I got associated with them 3 years ago through social media. And now I'm a board member, and uh, my job is to basically source funding and to mobilize things. And our NGO specializes in disaster management. And in the past, we have worked on Assam floods, Kerala floods. Then there was a village fire in Sunoi village in Uttarakhand. The whole village was burned down. At that time, we helped them rebuild by providing some shelters. And since last 2 years, we are working on the upliftment of Hindu refugees who are coming from Pakistan and settling in Delhi. So there are two camps we are taking care of. Majnuka Tila is the prime camp, and very recently, like just 1.5 months ago, there is another camp that has come up under the very famous signature bridge that you must have heard about. So these some families have come there, and they are regularly coming to India. So we have been working on providing hygiene material, conducting medical camps, and teaching their children, providing them with bathing stations and toilets, and education center we are constructing there. We are working on skill development of the ladies. We have set up sewing and stitching unit there, and those ladies are doing some embroidery work, and we are helping them sell their products. So lots of action is going on there. For the new refugees who are come, we have given them tarpaulins. We are helping them with the basic facilities like getting them drinking water from the government. Water tankers are made available for them, providing them jerry cans and some study material. All these things we were doing. So when coronavirus came up, and suddenly one day there was announcement of Janta curfew, and the next day there was lockdown. So all of a sudden, like, we did not get any time to act on it or source things, and it happened not just for us; it happened for everyone. And uh, the best part is that we have a prime minister who is most loved by most of the people in the country. So his wish is taken as command, and everybody has followed it except for a few. few which, there are always some black sheep. So let's not talk about that. So all of a sudden there was a curfew and lockdown, and suddenly we see millions of people. They became jobless, not because they were working or and they had jobs in hands, but they were self-sustaining people, daily wagers, contractual workers, the rickshaw wala, pan wala, cigarette wala, auto wala, and all these people who suddenly uh, had no income. And as I said earlier, you will never see them begging. They have good self-respect, and they are needy, but they will not come on the roads for asking for food. So by then, the government facilities were just setting up, and I got a call at 8 o'clock at night from our founder, Mr. Sudhanshu Singh ji of Humanitarian Aid International. So he said, Sudhir, khana batna hai. We have to distribute food, and people at our camp are hungry. I said, camp people, they already have food. Okay, we'll organize for it. But what about other people? He said, how much can we manage? I said, let us start. Let us make a start. So from 8 o'clock at night, I engaged some people, but then everything was closed. No shops were open, no grocery stores, no vegetable markets, because people were confused. What will be opened? What will not be opened? So I got hold of an old cook who used to cook for our family. I told him that we need food for 1,000 people tomorrow. He said, okay, sir, let me try. So in the morning, he started trying for everything, but there were no food containers. All the shops were closed. So then he said, sir, what will I do? How will I manage the food distribution? I said, let us make something dry that does not need a container. So can you get hold of some poly bags? He said, okay, sir, I will find. So in some time, we were able to manage the menu as a veg rice pulao. We made it very nutritious by adding lots of vegetables, soya bean, and basically the food that can be had with hands. You don't need any spoons. You don't need any containers. There is no gravy. So veg pulao we made for lunchtime, and for dinner we made the dry vegetable, potato vegetable, dry, and puris. So 8 puris and aloo ki sabzi. So that we started put for dinner, and 1,000 packets were made on the first day. So that very day we realized that these are not going to be enough, and people are hungry everywhere. On the social media, we were getting calls that 20 people are sitting there, they are hungry, they haven't eaten anything since yesterday. 40 people are sitting there, 80 people are there. We never had any movement pass also. So then I got one pass made for my cook, and from his kitchen only, I made him our volunteer. So he used to cook the food and run to places I used to tell him and distribute food. So then I asked him, let's increase the quantity. So we increased the quantity to 1,500. Then there was a group of teenagers who came to collect food from our kitchen. I had actually posted it on the social media that we have food ready, piping hot food. So anybody who wants to distribute, he is welcome to collect it from us. So these people, they came from a remote village on the outskirts of Delhi, at least 30 kilometers from our kitchen. They came to pick the food packets. So I was very touched. I said, you guys are you're doing a remarkable job. You're 30 kilometers you have traveled to get the food packet. They said, sir, our area people are so hungry. The need is too big. We have all daily wages and all the category people. There is no ration, there is no food. So I said, okay, then for how long you will continue coming here and picking up the food? They said, sir, what to do? We need food. So I convinced them to set up a kitchen there itself. So this girl, Vijay Lakshmi, she must be 18, 19 years old, and she teaches tuitions, private tuitions. And she said, sir, how will it happen? I said, you get hold of a cook, set up a kitchen, set up a kitchen outside your house. So she got hold of a cook. I made him speak to my cook. We shared the menu. I told him like 80 kgs rice and 70 kgs vegetables, 20 kgs soya beans. So make a pulao out of this, and it's very simple. So next day onwards, they started doing the same thing. So now we had two kitchens. So then our founder president, Mr. Sudhanshu Singh ji, he said that I also need 500 packets. So I said, no, my kitchens cannot deliver to your area. So you set up a kitchen there. So he set up a kitchen near his house. So 500 packets he started it. So we touched 2,500 packets, and by today afternoon, I think it will be crossing 50,000 count, and uh, 2,500 packets we started giving. And through the social media, I started tweeting every day that we have food available at this point, at this point, and at this point, 3 kitchens. So anybody who wants, he can collect. So some big social media influencers, Mr. Tajinder Bagga is there, and one Mr. Ankit Jain is there. Then there is a girl, Vaishali Podar, and Meenakshi Lekhi, the politician, and then Ravi Shankar Prasad ji's constituency. We started getting calls from people. Okay, we will take 200 packets every day. You give us 300 packets every day. So we said, fine. So anybody who wants food, you're welcome to come and collect it. So this is how we created a system where sitting from home, I am conducting this food drive, and we didn't have to go anywhere. This is one part we did, cook food.
So even in relief work, you specialized in the kitchen side of it, and who are good in distribution. You delegated the distribution to the other side. I think we should.
Exactly.
The delegation part is important. We should do what we are good at.
Exactly. So the nutritious food, healthy food we are providing, and people are distributing the food. And when they tweet and when they mention us slightly or somewhere in the newspaper, they are highlighted and our name comes somewhere in a little corner. We are happy that, okay, come on. At least, good work is being done. So during this drive, India Today group approached us that we want to distribute dry ration. I was again called that Sudhir, you have to get the dry ration, and for 700 families. I said, okay, what all is required? So I was given the list: 40 kgs atta, 10 kgs dal, and 5 kgs sugar, 1 kg salt, 4 liters of oil, mustard oil, plus all the spices for every family. So now you can multiply. I was given the task, and there is total lockdown. Government gave permission to open grocery shops, I think the next day. So by then everything was closed. So then my industrial association kitchen came in, in the picture. I started calling up all our vendors who were supplying material to us. So, okay, you need this much atta. Okay, I will give you atta, no problem. Then oil, find another person. Salt, another person. So they were all 6, 7 suppliers I was coordinating with. Then ultimately, everything else was managed, but there was no sugar. Nowhere I could find sugar. And since the distribution drive was to be done, and all the media team would have been there, India Today group covering the event, so we needed sugar. So then I called up a friend of mine who has a unit uh, 30 kilometers outside the border. He supplies whipped cream to all the bakeries in the city. So I asked him, sugar hai? Tera factory mein sugar hai? And he said, sir, bilkul hai. I said, sir, dijiye please, sir. And he packed himself. He packed sugar 5 kgs packets he made himself. because there was no staff in his factory. For 700 families, he and his guard, he he spent the whole night packing stuff for us, because next morning the food drive was there. So this is how we conducted the food distribution drive. 700 families, sir. Dry ration.
Nice, sir. Sir, now you said that you also cater to the refugee camps. Now, what is their status as of now? How are they placed? These refugees to whom you are,
That area has had some cases, so that area is totally become a red zone hotspot. So we have not been able to go there, but they have been provided enough ration to last for 2 months. As I told you, 40 kgs atta and 10 kgs dal, 4 liters of oil. This is going to last them for 2 months. So we know they are food secure. We had already provided them with hygiene material. They have soaps, they have liquid soaps. They know how to conduct all the exercise, the face mask, the cover the face and wash the hands. They have water. So we are not supposed to go there because of the red zone. None of our volunteers will be going there, but we know that they are food secure. So this is the current situation.
sir, you stay in Delhi. What is the situation in Shaheen Bagh now? What is going on there?
Shaheen Bagh is closed down, and I think that is also a hot spot. Many cases are coming up from there, and they are very badly affected, because firstly, that's a very congested area, and all these areas, they don't have the luxuries like we have of keeping social distancing and being indoors.
Now, what do you think? During this course, you had interaction with many youngsters, many people who are in need. Now, we have learned many new things, the personal hygiene aspect, the social distancing aspect. Post-corona, will this continue, or all people will conveniently forget it?
I don't know, sir. This is a very wide topic of discussion. But one thing is for sure, the world is never going to be the same as it was. We will be evolving much faster. I think people have learned that you can conduct the business sitting at home. So no need of expensive high-rise buildings to have offices holding 20,000 people. So I think the high-rise property value, especially the offices, will come down, and more people will start working from home. And secondly, socializing. We are human beings are social animals, so we cannot live without socializing. But our ways of socializing will change, definitely, sir.
Now, before starting your relief work, what sort of training did you give to your volunteers? Of course, you manage the kitchen side of it. So when the other volunteers who came to you for distribution, was there any sort of a training given?
Yes, the only training I gave them was that if you are distributing the food, you must be wearing a cap. If you don't have a cap, cover your head with a poly bag. Wear gloves, wear full sleeve shirts, wear trousers, no shorts, wear socks and shoes, and a face mask. You will not do any distribution without that. This was the major thing. And another unique thing I learned during this time was how to run things without being there. Like, because on social media, people knew that, okay, we are helping people. So on an average, we get 3 to 4 calls every day. So Bihar Chief Minister, Mr. Yadav, he tweeted and that so many families from Bihar are there. They are stuck without any food. They need dry ration. So there was a tweet with the list of people and their phone numbers. And that was forwarded to me by Mr. Tejinder Pakka. Okay, serious funny guy, you manage this. So now those people are in one part of Delhi, some area, and I am stuck here in my residence. So I just didn't know how to help them. But then the idea came to my mind, I called up those people and I told them, okay, you have grocery store near your area? I said, yes, we have grocery store. I said, go to your grocery store and make me speak to that person. So they went and they made me speak to the owner. I told them, okay, whatever they want, give them ration and make a bill in the name of Humanitarian Aid International, our organization, and we will make you the payment. So this was a nice trend, and it started from there. So we have catered to 117 such distress calls through Twitter, and by making the payment directly to the grocery shop through Paytm. So just look at the vision of our Prime Minister. How nicely when he came, he made things so simple. By Jan Dhan Yojana, everyone was connected to the banks. Digital India, we all started using Paytms and everything, and online banking. So if all these four things were not there, lockdown would be disastrous. Imagine sitting at your house and not able to find any cash. So now we don't need any cash. The milkman comes, he gives me the milk, and I make him the payment by Paytm. The vegetable vendor comes and I say, okay, Paytm, UPI Bheem. And he just shows me his QR code from a distance. I scan it and I make the payment.
So social distance is maintained.
Social distancing is maintained. Digital India is being used, and Jan Dhan Yojana, the poorest of poor person today has a bank account, and they are getting 500 rupees or whatever the government is giving directly to their accounts.
Yesterday, there was a discussion on agriculture, and many of the farmers were telling
money has started coming.
Sent their accounts. And
right.
This is a very good thing to know. Earlier they had to go to Panchayat office, wait in a queue and get it. Now there's a direct benefit transfer. So now you have been in the forefront. What are your learnings, which we can record and which we can put across to, send it to the authorities, so that God forbid that such thing should not come again, but we should be ready. What are your learnings from this particular situation?
Sir, my learnings are that some people will never listen to what is told to them. So the policing needs to be very strong. We have to, if it's a lockdown, it has to be adhered to. If some people try to, defy it, it loses the entire scheme. The entire purpose is gone, because we have to contain the problem. And the only way we know for containing the problem is to stay indoors. So unless it is really important, you don't need to venture out. I still see videos of people, they are shopping, they are going out, the bazaars are running in some parts of the country, and they are as if they are not at all bothered. So we need to make our policing very strong. The cops have to be given a free hand, and they need to know that this is how it is going to be conducted. UP police is doing tremendously well. So I think they can be taken as an example, one part. And secondly, why is there a need of NGOs when we have such a beautiful government? So government should set up more such centers, that NGOs like ours, we only work for some very few people who are deprived, but most of them should be covered by the governments. You will be surprised to know that the areas where we are catering to are Delhi government is now giving food at most of the places, but the areas we are covering to, they are 3.5-4 kilometers away from the nearest distribution center. So it is not possible for people to walk 3.5 kilometers in 40 degrees or 35 degrees heat temperature 2 times a day to get their food. So that is not possible. That is not physically possible. So in future.
Madhuri sir, do you have any questions?
Job, Bobby sir, it is a beautiful. Probably these all are the learnings what we have throughout our career. And one
Yes.
thing I really appreciate what you really told about the Digital India and Jandan Yojana.
No, we must also remember Arun Jaitley at this time, and he was one person who did manage to bring all these states together and implement GST. Because of GST today, all the important supplies are being sent from one state to the other through postal and all these mediums, even the emergency material. So today nobody is bothered. Okay, central sale tax, this form, that form. Oh my God, my accountant is not there. How will I do the billing? So all this, because of GST, every business has become online, and everyone is conducting business. Today our post offices are open. They are sending relief material, PPE kits, face shields, face masks, hand sanitizers. You can ship anything through speed post. So if it was not the GST would have not been there, conducting these businesses would have been impossible. Now every time there has been a problem, global problem, India has always come out of it more safely. Uh, there was a global recession, I remember, in early 2000s, and our black money saved us because our economy was mostly in black at that time. So this time our population will save us. You know, we have such a huge domestic market, and when the lockdown opens, everyone will need everything. So all the businesses, they will restart faster than
As
we
it
imagine.
was.
Yes, and the demand will be tremendous. Be it food, be it entertainment, be it automobiles, everything will be needed. Everything will be needed. So let us not be very negative about it. I am very positive that coronavirus, this lockdown period of 2-3 months, we will be able to recover in a matter of 1 year. So this is not going to be a huge loss for any of the business communities. We have tremendous potential within our country, and if our Prime Minister just makes one appeal to the people in his next address, that my friends, uh, to improve the economy of the country, just pledge to not travel overseas for 1 year and do all your tourism and travel within India, and do not buy the products which are not made in India. So if we just follow that for 1 year, we will see
We'll get
economy
back into
coming
economy.
back.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
in 1 year.
We'll come to the end of this discussion. Sir, what would be your message for the people who are, we call them Corona warriors? So the people, Corona warriors like you, what would be your message?
See, it only takes one step to start the journey. So, whatever you are doing, wherever you are all stuck at your own homes, and you're all under the lockdown. So, you don't have to be a mega tasker to do a big thing. Just start with small things. Whenever you're making the food, just make 2-3 extra chapatis or some extra rice, add one egg to it, and feed the dogs on the roads, and or the cows around you. These stray animals, birds, they need food as well. I have seen many dogs dying on the road because of hunger, because people are stuck in their houses. So at least start feeding with the dogs in your locality, the cows, or look for the people who are around you, who are lesser fortunate. Just ask them, like, are you happy, are you okay, is there anything I can do for you? So nobody will come up on their own to ask you for help. But if you call up people who are lesser fortunate than you, yeah, your friends, or somebody who has worked for you in the past, your driver, your maid, just call them and ask them, do you need any help? So they will themselves open up then. Okay, sir, I have no rice in my house, or maybe if I can get this thing, I need this. So small things, they can make a change in others' lives. Let's start with that, and we will see the whole country getting this positiveness.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So from our discussion today, I think we understand that we have to start by doing small things. People will
Yes,
never
sir.
people will never come to you asking for help, but you will have to
Yes.
search for the
You have to search for people who need help.
who need help, and do what you are good at. Like Sudhir ji started, he told that he could organize resources and start his kitchen. So he established kitchens in multiple places. He searched for people who are good in distribution, handle the processes in which you are good at. Then he also had told us how Digital India as such has helped, maybe Jandan accounts, maybe the Digital India sort of internet accounts or Paytm and so on. And after a long time during this season of Corona, I found one person who started speaking about post-Corona. So he said that India will bounce back. I hope his words come true, and India, as usual, will bounce back. They say that India is a land of holy people. The people have been, land of rishis. So India is always protected because of their prayers. Hope his words come true. And thank you, Balakrishna Madhuri, sir. You also have been in forefront with doing good work with the district administration. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Bobby, sir. Thank you, Madhuri ji.